Yo, what's up, guys? Jon Gruden. Today, man, we'll be talking about Jon Gruden, the Raiders head coach, and why he needs to be fired this instant immediately. Okay, the NFL cannot stand for this. They just need to go ahead and fire this freak. Okay, there's just no point where this guy just can be an NFL head coach at the highest level of football. Okay, this just in made me editing this video. Sources: Jon Gruden just informed his staff that he plans to resign as the Raiders coach. Let's go. He needs to be fired now, and he needs to be fired immediately. Okay, so right here, this is an article from the New York Times, which just goes ahead and just shows everything that has been leading up to Jon Gruden. And as we heard last week, he made a racist remark to one of the NFL PA guys, Demore Smith, saying that his lips look like something like the Michelin, which is extremely racist. Okay, let's go ahead and read the article by New York Times. Okay, all right, so let's see. Raiders coaches' emails included homophobic and misogynistic comments. A trove of emails and a separate workplace misconduct case shows that Raiders coach Jon Gruden went beyond previously disclosed racist comments to issue broad tirades. When the NFL vaunted NFL head coach Jon Gruden was confronted with a racist email he had sent in 2011 to insult the head of the players union, Demore Smith, he said he went too far but didn't have a blade of racism in him. Like, that quote was literally racist. But league officials, as part of a separate workplace misconduct investigation that did not directly involve him, have found that Gruden, now the coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, casually and frequently unleashed misogynistic and homophobic language over several years to denigrate people around this game and to mock some of the league's momentum changes. Like, get this freak out of the NFL. He denounced the emergence of women as referees, so he's just sexist now too. Like, what is wrong with this freak? The drafting of a gay player, so it's homophobic now, and a tolerance of players protesting during the playing of the national anthem, so he's racist, homophobic, sexist? Get this freak out the NFL. According to emails reviewed by the New York Times, Gruden's messages were sent to Bruce Allen, the former president of the Washington football team, while he was working for ESPN as a color analyst during Monday Night Football, the sport network's weekly primetime telecast of the NFL games. In the emails, Gruden called the league commissioner Roger Goodell a hard F and a clueless anti-football pussy, and said that Goodell should not have pressured Jeff Fisher, the former Rams coach, to draft blanks, a reference to Michael Sam, a gay player chosen by the NFL in 2014. As we know, Michael Sam was an openly gay player. Like, Gruden, you are so weird. Get out of the NFL, buddy. In numerous emails during a 7-year period ending in early 2018, Gruden criticized Goodell and the league for trying to reduce concussions, and said that Eric Reid, a player who had demonstrated during the playing of the national anthem, like Colin Kaepernick's team at the 49ers, should be fired. Like, he's literally openly racist. Freak. In several instances, Gruden used a homophobic slur to refer to Goodell in offensive language to describe some NFL owners, coaches, and journalists who covered the league. Gruden, Allen, the NFL, and the Raiders did not immediately respond to requests for comment, although not with a team at the time. Gruden was still influential in the league and highly coveted as a coach. He had won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers following the 2002 season. And in 2018, he was hired for a second stint as the head coach of the Raiders franchise, which includes defensive lineman Carl Nassib, the first NFL player to publicly declare that he is gay. So, actually, mad for my guy Carl Nassib, man. This coach really homophobic, man. That's actually so unfortunate. The league said last week that it shared emails with the Raiders in which Gruden made derogatory comments. Gruden told ESPN on Sunday that the league was reviewing emails in which he criticized Goodell and explained that he had been upset about team owners' lockout of the players in 2011 when some of the emails were written. Gruden said in the interview that he had used an expletive to refer to Goodell, and that he did so because he disapproved of Goodell's emphasis on safety, which he believed was scaring parents into staring their sons away from football, which makes sense. But Gruden's behavior was not limited to 2011. Gruden exchanged emails with Allen and other men that included photos of women wearing only bikini bottoms including one photo of two Washington team cheerleaders. Like, isn't this guy married? Like, what is he doing? Gruden also criticized President Obama during his re-election in 2012, as well as then Vice President Joe Biden, who Gruden called a nervous, clueless pussy. He used similar words to describe Goodell and DeMaurice Smith, the executive director of the NFL Players Association. The league is already investigating Gruden as a result of another email he wrote to Allen in 2011, in which he used racist terms to describe Smith, who was black. In that email, Gruden, who's white and was working for ESPN at the time, criticized Smith's intelligence and used a racist trope to describe his face. The correspondence was first reported by the Wall Street Journal and confirmed by the New York Times. The league, Smith, and Mark Davis, owner of the Raiders, all denounced Gruden's comments, but the coach thus far has not been penalized, and he coached his team in its game on Sunday against the Chicago Bears. How was he not out of the league? The way he was able to coach yesterday. Gruden said Friday that he did not remember sending the email and that his language went too far. Like, no shit, Sherlock. I never had a blade of racism in me. I don't know what that means. You said multiple racist shit. Like, I don't know what this guy's saying at all. Gruden's emails to Allen, who was fired by the Washington football team at the end of 2019, were reviewed as part of an NFL investigation of workplace misconduct within the franchise that ended this. I remember that. Goodell instructed league executives to look at more than 650,000 emails during the past few months, including those in which Gruden made offensive remarks. Last week, Goodell received a summary of their findings, and the league sent the Raiders some of the emails written by Gruden. Like, actual weirdo. In the exchanges, Gruden used his personal email account while Allen wrote from his team account. In some cases, Allen initiated the conversations and Gruden chimed in. On other cases, they traded vulgar comments several times. Like, what? Some of the emails between Gruden and Allen also included businessman friends Ed Drosty, the co-founder of Hooters, Jim McVay, an executive who had run the Outback Bowl, annually held in Tampa, Florida, and Nick Reeder, the founder of PDQ Restaurants, a Tampa-based fried chicken franchise. The exchanges began as early as 2010, while Gruden was an analyst for Monday Night Football. In 2018, he signed a 10-year, $100 million contract to coach the Raiders. They just have to fire him. Like, what am I reading right now? Drost, McVay, and Reeder did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Gruden and Allen are longtime friends and colleagues. Allen was a senior executive with the Raiders from 95 to 03. And he worked with Gruden, who was head coach of the team from 98 to 01. Gruden became coach of the Buccaneers in 2002 and beat the Raiders in the Super Bowl that season. Allen became the general manager there in 2004. Allen and Gruden both left the Bucs after the 08 season, while Gruden moved on to a broadcast role with ESPN. Allen became the general manager of Washington in 2010 and later the team's president. Taken together, the emails provide an unvarnished look into the clubby culture of one NFL circle of peers, where white male decision makers felt comfortable sharing pornographic images, deriding the league policies, and jocularly sharing homophobic language. Allen is the son of former legendary NFL head coach George Allen, and Gruden, whose father coached at Notre Dame and whose brother Jay was head coach. Oh, I remember Jay Gruden. Was he also with the Bengals as well? He was head coach in Washington from 2014 to 2019, are part of an exclusive network that cycles between NFL teams, networks, and companies affiliated with the league. Their banter files in the face of the league's public denouncement of racism and sexism, and its promises to be more inclusive amid criticism for not listening to the concerns of black players, who make up about 70% of rosters. The NFL has in the past struggled to discipline personnel who have committed acts of domestic violence and been condemned for failing to adequately address harassment of women, which is just sadly true, okay? Including NFL cheerleaders. Wow. In June, the NFL congratulated Nassib after he became the first active NFL player to publicly declare that he is gay. Goodell said he was proud of Carl for courageously sharing the truth today. Representation matters, as he is literally homophobic, so I don't know what he's saying right now. Allen and Gruden appears to have few boundaries and expressing homophobic and transphobic language. In one email from 2015 that includes Drost, McVay, and others, Gruden crudely asked Allen to tell Brian Glazer, whose family owned the Buccaneers, who were Gruden coached to away, to perform oral sex on him. Like, what am I reading? Allen said Glazer would take you up on that offer. Like, what? Allen and Gruden also mocked Caitlyn Jenner, who received an award from ESPN in 2015 after she transformed, obviously, from a guy to a woman. That's obviously what's it called? As we know, Kylie and Kendall Jenner's father right there. In an email from 2015, Allen and Jon Gruden criticized a congressional bill that aimed to force the Washington franchise to change its name, which was literally racist, which some Native Americans and others have denounced as a slur. Again, using a vulgar term, Gruden took aim at Goodell and his staff, even though the commissioner had initially defended the team's right to keep their name. In 2017, Drost shared with the group a sexist meme of a female referee, which Gruden replied, "Nice job, Roger." Like, what? That same year, Gruden was sent a link to an article about NFL players calling Goodell to support their efforts promoting racial equality and criminal justice reform. Gruden had advice for Goodell. He needs to hide in his concussion protocol 10, he wrote. Like I said, bro, fire Jon Gruden as soon as possible. He's just the awful human being. Like, I don't know what is wrong with this guy though. Like, the fact that he actually coached last night is blasphemy. I'm about to lost for words right now. Why is this guy still an NFL coach? Like I said, he's sexist, homophobic, he's racist, and he's an all-around, just flat out an awful human being. And the NFL just cannot stand for this, okay? It's just not right at all. So Raiders, fire Jon Gruden immediately. He is not a good person. He does not deserve to be making $100 million across 10 years for being an openly racist, openly sexist, openly misogynistic. Like, he's just a freak, and he needs to get serious help, okay? But other than that, yo, that is the video. It's your boy John. Hope you guys did the video. Comment down below. What are your thoughts on this whole entire thing? It's your boy John. Hope you guys did the video, and I'm out, man. Peace.